What the fuck do you do full screen?
What's wrong with this screen? Yeah, this is fucked.
Try it, Dave.
Go ahead, dude.
Fuck. Where is he?
Hold on. Por favor.
Now we're waiting on Jess like we are Dave. Fuck.
Waiting on both. Waiting on Jess and Dave. God. We got tea time here.
Maybe Jess will be happy because I'm not wearing sunglasses today.
Wait, is Dave joining us?
I sent him an email and he told me that he would join late, so to act like he's always late, but he probably isn't joining. He probably forgot. He thought today was Wednesday, so I don't know what's up with that guy.
To be fair, so did I.
I wish it was Wednesday. That means it'd be closer to Friday.
Yes, it's true.
Are
yes.
we recording at all, by the way?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are recording.
Oh, of course we are. First of all, let's get into this. Y'all suck.
Who?
Which one?
Both teams.
Both. You should
I
point
got
to
two
both.
fingers.
And the Cubs are hot right now.
Oh, yeah. We took the series against the Braves.
Yep.
They got one good game on us, and then we said, fuck y'all.
I saw that. Yeah.
My parents were at the Saturday game. My dad almost caught Candelier's home run.
Wasn't that like a that was like a rainy game, wasn't it?
It was rainy, and they were in the bleachers too.
Yeah.
So apparently bleachers where it's at for Wrigley had no, I mean, I knew like each section at Wrigley has its own experience, like rooftops different than sitting in like, I don't know, the seating versus like being out in the bleachers.
Yeah.
So this was their first bleachers game. My dad got my mom the tickets for Mother's Day, probably Mother's Day. So they got there super early. It was a bunch of Braves and Cubs fans, and they got right up on the wall by why can't I think of the word? Because I've been working all day. By the ivy and everything.
The basket?
Thank you. I couldn't.
Cubs fan doesn't even know, but I do.
You know what?
It's been a long day.
This has been a long season.
Listen, it's been a long couple weeks. It's been a long. When did I text y'all? Sunday? 48 hours. 24 hours. 48.
Yeah.
What time frame?
My brain doesn't work. But I do know the Cubs whooped some ass.
They did. And they got their ass whooped last night.
Well, yeah, we don't.
So like that's the thing with the Cubs. I think that they're playing well together overall, but lately it's like, okay, they win big and then they lose big. Like for example, they lost 8-0 to the Braves, then they won, then they just lost 11-2. So it's like inconsistency. I don't know, but they're still right there for the division race.
Well, and that's the thing. Like they're in the division race still. They are. Honestly, I'll just be happy if we come out feeling like this team can progress, right? That's kind of my hope right now at this point. If we get into a wild card thing, I don't expect us to go very far, anything postseason. But I'll take seeing these bits and pieces that they've been putting together finally gel. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
That gives me hope. That gives me like, all right, we're starting to, we lose big, win big, but we're finding a footing. We're going to find some equilibrium. We're going to find, some balance in that. So we'll see. I mean, they're playing right now. That's what I've got on my phone is them playing right now. So we'll see. I mean, they got their asses whooped last night, but
against the Mets, we really probably already thinking of vacation coming up, when the season ends. They know they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. But the Braves are playing right now too, and they lost They lost to Pittsburgh yesterday.
I mean, any given day, baseball, it can go either way. But yeah, I think the Cubs are a 500 team, but you lose 2 out of 3 to them, and then you lose the first game of the series to Pittsburgh. I mean, the Braves are not playing that well right now,
No. But if you're going to have a slump of any kind, have it for the next few series. Because even when they're not playing that great, they're still like, yeah, we won, but I can own that, like, those were some hard fought wins. Like, they didn't make it easy on us. So they're still playing well. They're just kind of hitting a slump. But again, if you're going to do so hot at the beginning of the season, be the first team to reach 70 wins, if you're going to hit a slump, hit it about now. If you haven't hit it yet, because then you still have time to recoup and recover. Like, I think they're still going to be, if they haven't already, which again, my brain, they're going to be the first ones to clinch their division.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they kind of have a little bit more wiggle room than everybody else. Now, onto other teams and their players getting bitch slapped out.
Right.
That was the other big thing that I saw was Tim Anderson getting bitch slapped out. Not knocked out, because a knockout kind of requires like a full-on punch with it. I don't know if you guys saw.
I mean,
what sparked that? Anyways, I don't even know. I wasn't even watching. All I saw was the highlight of it. So what sparked that?
I guess the word coming out is that he's been known for tagging people like really hard and excessively, maybe like pushing them, trying to push them off the bag like simultaneously, to get an out.
Yeah.
And then people have caught on to it, and Jose called him out after the slide and must have said something and to piss him off, because right away he threw his glove off ready to go, but I don't think he was ready to go because he missed every fucking swing and then he got swung on. So, but to be fair, Ramirez like swung when he wasn't even looking when he clocked him. But
right here, with the open hand.
No, it wasn't open hand.
It looked.
Everybody was grabbing Ramirez from behind, and then his head's turning this way, and he's just swinging, and it's like, I don't know. And then he's trying to apologize to Tim now, and Tim's not getting back to him probably because his butt hurt. But
yeah, because he went down like a bitch.
He really did.
And then he tried to go back after them, and then his teammates were holding him back. So
Vaughn
they were holding him up.
They were like picking him up. Like
Andrew Vaughn like bear hugged him and lifted him to the dugout because he tried to go back after them.
Yeah, that's the most big productive thing he's done all season.
But yeah, the White Sox are a mess. I don't know if you saw the thing that came out from the score yesterday about there was a fight between Grandal and Anderson before the All-Star break. That came out now. I guess Grandal was wanting to pack his bags and leave for All-Star break vacation early because he wasn't in the lineup. And Tim, as a leader of the team, which I would agree, that would piss me off as a player in the locker room too. Yeah. Kind of went off on him and said, if you don't want to be here, I'll pay for your fucking flight myself. Grandal goes over and slaps him in the face. So I guess there was a fight with that. And then there's stuff coming out about guys that have recently got traded. Lance Lynn, another reliever that's on the Yankees now, Middleton. They're talking about how cancerous the locker room was. There was certain guys, they pointed out Moncada, Grandal, and Eloy Jimenez as 3 guys that contributed to negative team environment. So clearly the culture that's going on with the new manager is not, it says there's no laws, there's no regulations for anything. People just do whatever they want and there's no consequences. So, I mean, as a clubhouse that's operating like that, clearly you're not going anywhere with that.
Well, no, I mean, you can't. I mean, I think this goes for any team and any GM, any manager across the board. If you can't control your team, if you can't control your players, what do you expect them to do?
Right.
Like if you don't have, I mean, I know sometimes the Yankees catch hell because they have such strict rules, right? For their players. Like you have to dress a certain way. You have to keep your hair cut, clean shaven, all these things. But it like boils down to like tiny rules of discipline add to big levels of discipline when you're out there. They may not be top performing, but you're not going to hear very much about their clubhouse doing some stupid shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like is going on with the White Sox. Like, you have no control, nor do you have any respect from your players if they can't compose themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's interesting. I mean, obviously you could tell I'm a little behind on all my baseball awareness right now, but I mean, I think that's the thing. I think if I told you guys before, like, I listened to Joe Madden's book, right? And that was his big thing. He always went in with, like, you're going to run out that hit. I don't care if you could see that it's, caught and you're going to be out at first. You're going to run it out. You're going to do these things. Do you think at the end that may be contributing to why they've had such a bad season is lack of leadership, not just from key players, but from their manager?
Well, I think it starts even further than manager. I think it's management in the organization. I'm talking GM, all that from, above ownership. You need to set a culture. I think that it's just about, they don't care about winning, really. I think upper management, it's all about money. They don't care about winning. They don't ever spend on key positions that they need to spend on, and you're going to get the result you get when that happens. I mean,
it's true. Like, you pay for what, and I mean, how much can you be making? Like, you are entering a pretty bad it's a bad losing season. Like, we've all had bad losing seasons, but this is like,
they're like third worst team in baseball.
I mean, the memes that come out, the jokes that come out right now, everybody's like, keep it classy, Chicago. I'm like, South Side.
Yeah.
We're talking to the South Side here, not North Side. We try to, but it's like, how much you've got to, at certain points. I mean, this is any ball club, any of the teams out there. I think you need to start paying attention to that. You can't start focusing just on the money and then you clean it up after the fact. So I don't know. They've been, I mean, you said it, they're out of it. I mean, Tim Anderson, suspended for 6 games?
Yeah, he appealed it, so he's still playing until they come up with a decision on his appeal. But 6 games, and then Ramirez got 3, I believe. So,
yeah. I mean, do you think they'll lessen it? I mean, I'm trying to think how often.
No, I don't really know why he appealed it, because he's the one that really dropped his glove and put his fist up and, I mean, started it kind of. So,
kind of.
I think they both should probably get equal amount, though. I mean, why does Anderson get 6 and Ramirez gets 3? I mean, you know what I mean?
You got to learn how to control your emotions.
Yeah.
And if somebody can goat you that easily, one, you look guilty for doing what he said he probably did.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, like, that sets a precedent that, like, anybody, it's like the stupid 0 tolerance policy. Well, they were both in the fight. Well, somebody started it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody defended themselves, right? You're getting paid millions of dollars. You should know how to control your emotions.
Yeah.
How many guys are out there all the time that, I mean, they're all running their mouths.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen my favorite pitcher, Jake Arrieta, have people chirp at him, and instead of fighting, he shut you out with 9 innings. Like, there are other ways in this sport. And I think this goes across all sports, but, especially in this one. And I can't remember, maybe you guys know better. Like, I don't remember very many times that the league has gone against whatever punishment they've issued out. It's not, you'd have to have some really hard evidence of, like, he was completely racist. You could see it on camera. There were no fans. Like when the Oakland A's coach went off on Blue, and there were no fans, so you could hear everything he was saying. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, both mine and Duke's teams are in the dumps right now. I mean, your team is what? On 0 for 7, right?
Yep.
0 in their last 7.
Yep.
So what is going on with the Angels? I mean, they were just in town here. I got invited. I was really mad I couldn't go and see Ohtani. I was So bad.
Yeah, they made some moves at the All-Star break, taking a few players from the White Sox, and I think they got a couple bats too, right? And they're just
Grichuk, yep.
Now they're under 500, and I don't know what's going to happen with them. Trout's still not back. Ohtani keeps getting injured when he pitches, or not injured, but
He's
dealing with like
cramping up
cramps
because they were letting him to do everything.
Yeah.
Well,
You
that's
can't rely on him to do everything. You can't rely on him to
Yeah.
do everything. We need more starting pitchers. No
Yeah.
more of this. Oh, we're just going to settle for Giolito and just the season. We need pitchers.
Yeah.
Get Rendon out of there. Get another starting pitcher. I'm serious.
I know. I think I know you are. I know you are. And you've been saying it since the beginning of the season. I mean, you are not on the the Rendon.
I'm not.
Bandwagon.
At first, when he got there, I was like, okay, we're going to do the same thing again where we're going to get a superstar, overpay him, and he's not going to produce. The Josh Hamilton situation.
Yeah.
Same scenario. Pujols, at least we got something a little bit out of him.
Justin Upton.
Upton, we got a little bit out of, and then he got injured.
Yeah.
It's just how it's been, which is why I don't want to do that anymore. I want to home grow our talent, like with Mickey, with all these young guys, develop them on your own.
Well,
that's what's going to work. Trading for superstars is not in our culture.
I've been seeing something on Twitter the other day that I guess the Angels are rushing prospects too fast. They have a few guys they just drafted that they'd already called up to like single or double A, and people are asking like, why are you rushing? This is why prospects never pan out for the Angels, because they rushed them through the minor leagues without developing them.
But
properly.
who actually says it? Let's really think about this. Who is actually saying this? Because what else has worked? The money is not going where it's supposed to be going. Am I wrong here? The money?
No, I don't think you're wrong. But
the money is
I
going
think
towards your Mike Trout and your Shohei Ohtani. So
those are
let's
the
get
only
that straight.
okay. Those are the only two things I would want to bank our buck for.
Maybe
that's it.
Maybe there's no money left to go around after them two guys. That's probably what it is.
And that's probably like the problem is I think Alec is right. I don't know that you guys have the money to do that. So you do
we
have
may
to
have to make a decision,
right? You're gonna have to, if you're gonna put prospects out there, you're gonna have to work with them and develop them.
Like for example,
rush them.
There's a perfect example. I'll say it first. We had a chance to trade for Jackson Holiday, the best shortstop prospect there's probably going to be out there, and we don't do that. It's a cheaper deal. We don't have to worry about forklifting $600 million to one player.
Ownership's worried about.
They're worried about it, and
getting
they think
fans to fill the seats with Ohtani.
We don't need fans to fill the seats. We need wins. The Cubs are doing it just fine with key veterans that have been all-stars, still are all-star caliber players that are still producing. Look at Stroman.
Yeah,
he's producing. Look at Bellinger.
I knew that this was going to happen. Like, look what the Astros did. Look what the Astros did in the Rangers. The two teams in the division with the Angels, they go and get Justin Verlander and they go against Max Scherzer.
Yeah,
the Angels could have probably done that if they didn't have so much money for two players. I mean, you can't build a roster when you have over $1 billion into two players. You just can't.
Who are we realistically going to keep of the two? You know that answer. I'm sure Jess knows that answer. Who are we realistically going to keep of the two?
I mean, unless somebody buys Trout out, Ohtani's gone.
If what?
I said, unless somebody buys Trout out, Ohtani's gone.
Let's take a look at my my favorite video here real quick.
No, I'm And they even said, like, if Ohtani were to leave, Trout's probably going to play DH next year. Because we have so many outfielders.
Yeah.
That are young, and we're trying to throw them out there. Okay, Mickey Moniak, I'll keep. That's fine.
Yeah.
We want to develop them.
But that's the thing. You have to develop these guys. But if you are not putting money where it belongs, you have to start offloading assets. And I'm sorry. And you're right. The only reason they really didn't do very much, if it comes from like the fan base, now instead of everybody coming to see Mike and Ohtani, they're just coming to see Ohtani. You're losing people. Some people who don't maybe see the value or see the history being made with Ohtani, they don't know that.
Yeah.
but they know Mike Trout. Everybody knows Mike Trout. But I mean, yeah, Scherzer went to the Rangers. Verlander went to the Astros, which was bleh.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And Verlander might be certain. I don't know.
He's fallen off a little bit. I certainly think he's fallen off.
I'm not low key. No, very high key, hoping that he just tanks now that the Astros have him. Because
Valdez, I think, is a better pitcher right now.
This is what Stephen A. Smith had to say about the Angels. You ready?
Yep.
Here it is.
Oh, I know this one. Is it
He's got a little bit of volume, technical difficulties. Sorry, Dave.
I think I know what video this is, though.
Angeles Angels of Anaheim. No one cares about you. No one. I don't even know. I've been in LA quite often. I never hear anybody talking about the Angels. We love driving by the stadium. It looks really nice. No one cares. You're irrelevant. Period.
I mean, we really can't argue it because it is true right now. We can't argue it.
The most exciting two players in baseball Trout arguably since like 2013, 2014, and now you add Ohtani for the last, 5 years.
Yeah.
And you can't even get to the playoffs. I was mind blown by this the other day. Me and Duke were having a casual conversation. And I was like, how many playoff games has Mike Trout even played in? And he's like, well, he hasn't played in one since like 2014.
That was his only playoff series.
I was like, what?
He didn't do well in that series either.
My White Sox have been in the playoffs, and Mike Trout has not since 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Shohei Ohtani's never played in a playoff game. Like that's
the closest Mike has gotten is playing for Team USA.
And then Ohtani's playing for
He was
Japan.
Fantastic. Loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him. That was it, though. And that's it, though. So here's a good question. As Mike Trout, do you start to regret your decision to be with a team that is doing nothing from an outsider's perspective to get you to that point? They aren't.
I'm not going to lie.
The only realistic offer I know that besides them that offered him something was the Phillies when Harper went there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only other team he would consider playing for.
Well, he's from there.
Because he's from there. That's the only team.
At what point do you go, consider playing for? Okay, do you go, I want to win? And so,
a lot of superstars nowadays, I'll go back to this point as I say it thousands of times. It comes down to taking less money to go play for a contender. People look back at your career whenever you go to Cooperstown, Canton, Springfield, wherever the hockey one is. I don't know where that one is at.
I don't know where that's
People look at that and say, okay, you've been here, you got in here, but where's the ultimate prize?
Yeah.
They look at that and they're like, that never happened for you? That's the biggest thing. I would rather have my 2 hands full of them than have none and go in there. Because it just means you're accepting second. Me and him both believe we don't accept second. That's just what we don't do.
Derek Jeter had a quote one time on a video. I just watched it the other day, and someone was asking him what is his favorite moments of his career, and he named all the years of his rings, and he said personal accolades will always be great, but you play to win, and nothing's better than winning.
Nothing.
And I, as a player in the MLB, I picture myself, okay, if I'm a millionaire and I'm playing the game, everyone grows up as a kid. It's a kid's game. You grow up loving it. You get to play a kid's game and make millions of dollars. I would still want to be on a team that wins,
Yep.
Even if it's my job where I make millions of dollars, it would suck to lose and be garbage. I mean, that's just me, I guess.
Here's the thing, though. He's going to make millions no matter where he goes. He's going to see more money than any of us ever will in our lifetime. Is it really that horrible to say, yeah, I took a pay cut, but I went to X, Y, or Z, and you know what? I got a ring. Brian McCann did it. Brian McCann, everybody thought he was going to be a lifelong Braves. He was going to be the catcher for the Braves. That was it. He was going to be the next Chipper Jones franchise player, never played for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the opportunity. He played for the Red Sox for a little bit, then went to the Astros. He won a ring. He was done. He took a $1 million contract to retire in a Braves jersey. That is it. That is the only reason he took, because he got his ring. He knew he was going to have to make. I mean, that dude literally is from his hometown. It's 45 minutes from here.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's dad went to high school with him. One of my buddies played with him for years. Like, he is a Georgia boy. He grew up on the Braves. He wasn't, he took and did what he had to do to get that ring. And then he said, all right, I'm done. I got what I needed. I'm going back. I'm taking my 1-year contract. Whatever. I don't care about, I guess I'm going to help my team win. And they did really well that season. But
he had no regrets.
He had no regrets, because he can't say that, I was a franchise player. I played with the Braves my entire career. Never won a ring. Huh?
One thing's missing.
Gotta
get the ring on the finger.
And so at what point do you look at a player like Mike? I still think Ohtani's too young to get it at this point. A little bit. I don't think anybody in his circle and around him is going to present it. But Mike Trout's old enough and been around enough. Like, at what point do you go, I know it's not the team you want. I know you're going to have to either do long distance with your family for a little while, or you're going to have to move the family for a couple of years, but you're going to get a ring.
Mike Trout deserves to play on a team that's contending every year, and that team deserves Mike Trout. I mean, we've gotten to see Mike Trout he's going to be one of the best players to ever play the game when it's all said and done, and he deserves to be playing in October, and it'd be exciting. It sucks that as a baseball fan, we haven't got to see that. I mean,
I've only seen it once.
And the Angels, I don't know what's wrong with them, but I think they're kind of dysfunctional at this point. I mean,
kind of. Wait, repeat that again.
Like, they don't have stuff that's like the White Sox dysfunction.
Oh no, that's not.
Oh no, that's a whole.
That's what I think of
dysfunction. Watch the family fight dysfunction.
Yeah, when I think of dysfunction, I think of like Chicago White Sox, but they're dysfunctional in their own way. By this, they just never win. They're just always mediocre, average. That's it. And how can you be average when you have, arguably, when healthy, the two best players in baseball? It's, I don't know.
I have one cry for help for that team.
I know one player can't win it all themselves, and two players can't win it all themselves, but I would say you have a pretty damn good chance with those two.
Yeah.
I mean, get some pitching, man. Christ.
And that's who's going to get that? We signed one executive to get us there.
And this is the thing too.
You want Theo?
Yes, I want that petition.
Did he retire? I heard a rumor at one point that he was going to start his own team. Hi?
He works for the MLB. Like
I heard he was going to start a team in Nashville at one point.
They'll be in good hands. I wish I could say that.
Or someone mentioned, was that Aaron yesterday or Boss?
That might be a rumor.
He's like, imagine if Mark Cuban bought the Angels.
Oh, we'd be in great shape.
The owner of the Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
Or not the Lakers, the Mavericks.
I wish there was the owner of the Lakers. I'm tired of our owner.
And it's like, well, yeah. I mean, I wish someone would buy the White Sox.
That's another topic for another day. But
we could get into that in another season, guys.
I'm sorry to say this on our recording. Dave can put this on the show if he wants, but Jerry Reinsdorf basically just needs to die. I mean, Jerry.
There comes a point though when you have those players. Like, how can you not? I don't know. If I were Mike Trout, I would feel like the redheaded stepchild. I would feel slighted. I'd feel like you paid all this money, you sold me a bill of goods, and you're not delivering on them. You are not doing anything to produce a team that I can win with. I don't want to win for. You're right. He can't win it all. And you wonder too how many, players like him are out there that would feel that way. Not that play like him, but that are like, what the hell did I stick around for? But
there's some out there.
Yeah. But even like Chipper Jones, like he ended up winning at least one ring while he was there. So he didn't, huh?
One of my favorites ever.
Yeah. And like he doesn't have regrets, but he got the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could you imagine being in a room with Mike Trout and being like, all right, real talk. How much do you feel like the neglected kid on this team? Like, you are the foster kid that went into this home that they sold all this like great, wonderful, lovey-dovey family stuff to the CPS worker. And you're like, but they beat me in the back and they collect the check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, it'd be interesting. I think after a while, it would be interesting to see if he does in the next year or two show more interest. And I wonder if people would go after his contract if he showed some interest in being open to leaving.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 7 more years on it. So
I say give it about 2 years. If he comes back healthy, right, has a great season, there might be peaked interest. And a year after that, if he were to show some open, who's there?
That's my puppy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'll bring him on.
Side note.
I'll bring him on.
What? Did we get a puppy? We got a puppy. All 3 of us got a puppy.
We gotta make room. Hold on.
Is he big?
Oh, he's a baby.
Oh, he is. There he comes.
Is your puppy?
All right,
I'm on.
This is Ace. He's 12 weeks old. He's a golden doodle.
I lost all focus on baseball. I just want a puppy now.
I got him Friday after work, and he's been great. So,
like randomly?
Yes. Well, you know what? I had a when did we start? When did we meet and start doing the show? It was after February, right? I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I had
No, it was like April.
Yeah, I had a Labradoodle that passed away unexpectedly, and so I really like doodles, and I've been looking for one, and the perfect time happened Friday. I got lucky, so.
He's so sweet. I need a new friend for my guy. And listen, do you know how hard it is? This is a complete side note, and this is such a girl thing. Do you know how hard it is to follow the Humane Society on your Facebook? And every time you scroll, they have a new litter of puppies that just have the most saddest, most pitiful take me home eyes.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of like going to the bars in your 30s.
I say that a lot. I used to be all about rescuing, and then I had bad luck with it. I think that there's people that drop off sick dogs there.
Oh, 100%.
And that's what kind of I feel like might have happened with everything that happened and like the results and stuff. I think that's what happened to me. So went through a breeder this time. It's supposed to be everything they said with like how they take care of them for the first 8 or 9 weeks, and the food they feed them, like they're really healthy, and I don't know, it's sketchy sometimes with those rescues, but I like doing the rescues too. That's what's hard about it.
I mean, my dog is, I got him from a breeder, but I had really young kids, and when you rescue, you don't always know what you're getting, which is fair. So I said, yes, I'll rescue, but when my kids are older and they can understand, like my daughter can get in my dog's face and he doesn't care, but he's been with her his entire life. I've had him since he was 8 years old.
Maybe so, Dugout Dialogue mascot, huh?
Yeah. Listen, y'all know I've had a really bad couple of days, and this just made my day between recording right now.
He's got like something, a name that's like baseball, Ace pitcher.
Ace is such a baseball name. He's just sweet.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
He is.
He sleeps through the night.
Come see the puppy real quick.
Let me spin this. What?
The lights just went out.
Dave?
Suddenly appear
Dave?
every time you're near.
Are you in there?
Yes. Knock knock. Yes.
Hey there. You're probably wondering why I've come in here and interrupted your show. Well, here's why. We have signed an agreement with Ace Revenue, which allows us to get access to thousands of casinos across the world, okay? Including this one, Silver Oak Online Casino Gaming, right now. 50 free spins, plus 2,500 of bonus points. You can get it right now. Just follow the link below and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page as well as X, and we will check. Get your spins going today and start gambling, and there'll be a lot more all season long here with Ace Revenue and Silver Oak Online Casino. Back to your regular scheduled programming.
I think that
Other than the fact when Giolito got his first start with us, he let up a bomb already. Typical Giolito fashion. It was against the Blue Jays.
I think that we're really starting to see what teams are for real and what teams aren't, right? Everyone's separating themselves. The Cubs were, for example, kind of at the beginning of the season, everyone thought, okay, they're what we thought they were. They're going to be an under 500 team or 500 team, but really now they're coming along and playing well. And Bellinger's healthy, and he's like been a dog.
I'm very surprised about that too.
And
I'm very surprised.
Yeah, like you know, we're getting in the middle of August now. We see the teams that are probably going to be playing in October, and it's exciting because nothing's better than October baseball.
Oh, and they just announced all the dates for postseason. Did y'all see that?
I didn't. As a Sox fan, I never have to worry about it.
You're like, I don't know what's postseason. What is this thing you speak of?
To be fair, though,
we've been there
for
9
the Cubs
years
lately too. So... Has there been postseason recently? Not
no,
really.
but the Braves have been in it, so I'm still concerned with postseason things.
Still concerned with
child. What would you like?
Yes, child.
You're bored? Maybe go find the remote that you lost. This makes you never want to have kids.
The Colin Coward mistake.
Oh,
what?
There was a thing off the side note.
Yeah, it's not baseball related. It's football related.
It's football related.
I'll take it.
One of the Fox people made a mistake in saying about how one of the quarterbacks has never been to a Super Bowl, but he's already passed away. And he announced that on national TV.
Do you know Dwayne Haskins? Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Colin Coward said that.
Yeah, Colin Coward said that on air today.
Like, I really think sometimes, like, these guys get paid hundreds and thousands to talk about shit that they don't even have a clue what they're talking about.
There's a lot of them that have no clue.
That's why, okay, here's a hot take. I hate women discussing baseball on the MLB network because they played softball.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We're going to get back into the softball topic. All right.
Like, because here's the thing. Here's my hot take.
Okay.
I can handle, like, Erin Andrews. Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love her. But she knows what she's talking about, and she doesn't pretend like she's played football, right? When I get somebody up there who's like, well, when I played softball, ma'am, no ball has ever been coming at you at 98 miles an hour. And you had a face mask on to protect your pretty face so you could be on TV right now. And it was a underhand pitch.
And I can pitch into that too, because I'm a guy that plays baseball still and softball, and I can't stand the guys that are cocky that play softball. It's like, hold up. You ain't shit playing this sport, my guy. Like, step on a real diamond and let's see how you are.
How do you know they didn't know when they
most guys do, but I've seen some guys that are cocky that they didn't play baseball.
Listen, women's softball is what adults play when they can when they just want to go have fun, and then
my buddies,
a bunch of men do it.
My buddy Schwartz does that.
Yeah. So it's like the guys that you can be good in softball and be terrible in baseball. That's very
100%. There's not. I have yet. Okay, so we're seeing women kind of cross into football, right? Because they can keep up, compete, and they're proving themselves. I've not seen a woman play baseball or try or get into the high school team and show up the boys or get on their college team. And I'm sorry, and I'm saying that as a woman. Like, I don't want to be in front of a 98 to 102 mile an hour ball coming at me and try to hit it. Hell no. Yeah. But I could play softball.
Yep.
But I'm not. So when I hear women like on those shows. I'm like, you're just here to be a pretty face in case somebody just passes by and it's on and they keep it on.
What are you doing?
That's my hot take. We don't even do hot takes anymore, and that's my hot take. Women should not be commentating on unless you are going to be aware that you don't know what it's like to actually play the sport and lean into gaining knowledge from these.
Yeah. But going back to what he said about when people get paid to not know what they're talking about, that's why ESPN had like 20 plus layoffs.
Pretty much.
That's why there's been so many.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of them, I'm like, thank God they're gone.
Before we cut away to our World Series predictions, I want to say one last thing on the show. I want to touch on this thing that happened yesterday with this Orioles broadcaster. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh,
yeah.
So basically, the Baltimore Orioles suspended their main play-by-play broadcaster because he talked about how the Orioles have been recently bad at Tropicana Field against the Rays. And here's my question about it. And a lot of broadcasters around the MLB have been sticking up for him actually since this happened.
Okay.
But my question is, the broadcasters don't create the graphics to show on TV, I'm sure, right? It's probably there's other people that
analytics.
So this chart or this graphic was made up about how many losses the Orioles have had in Tampa since the most recent maybe 5-10 years, I don't remember. And it was bad. And he said that they were playing better recently there, but because they're getting ready to start a series there. So he's talking about how bad they've been there.
Yeah.
And somebody had to make this graphic and approve it to go on TV. But yeah, so the Orioles suspended him, I think indefinitely for right now. But this has been a big thing the last few days. A lot of announcers are, sticking up for him and saying that he shouldn't be suspended. If anything, he should be given a raise. And I was like, damn. So I can't believe
about a raise.
I can't believe that. Well, I think jokingly, but I can't believe that you would suspend your broadcaster, who everyone speaks highly of, that I guess is one of the best around MLB, because he talked about simply how you've been not winning games there. I mean, stats are stats. If you're not winning there, you're not fucking winning. I don't know what to tell you.
I think we all talk about it. I listen. So when the game, if I'm at work or the Cubs are playing, right? I listen to Pat Hughes and them. They're not going to sugarcoat it. They're not going to be oh yeah, they're not going to glaze over the fact that the Cubs were awful game or two before. They're going to be we really got to pull it out because I don't know what we're. That's kind of what you expect from these guys.
Like a homer for that team. But, I don't think he said anything really wrong. I was expecting him to say something like that Reds announcer said. Remember, that racist slur or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
This was nothing. I'm like, what? I don't know.
So essentially, let me make sure I understand this. He got suspended indefinitely at the moment because he reported factual information that has been happening with the Orioles.
Yeah, basically.
Is what we're boiling it down to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They realize how stupid that sounds. Yeah, you've got one. Chew with your mouth shut. Mm-hmm. I'm getting another dog and I'm getting rid of a kid. Joking. But you're basically suspending somebody for doing their job and reporting the facts during a game when they're supposed to be reporting the facts.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I have no idea.
I thought my brain hurt before we started all this, guys.
Right.
But that may have just. Can you send me the puppy in the mail? Or bring the puppy anytime you want to. I don't care. Cubs series.
Speaking of announcing, though, how did you feel about when Len Casper left the Cubs and now is with the White Sox? Did you like Len Casper? Or?
I wasn't. So I had a hard time after Ron Santo died. I had a hard time listening because while I grew up with Harry Carey, I also grew up with Ron Santo. So, but I like Pat Hughes. I love the guys we have now.
They're pretty good. Yeah, they're intense.
And they, I know baseball humor is its own thing, but So I'm dying laughing at them. Like they're so dry, and they're just cracking jokes to the point where their producers in the back just dying laughing. I don't know if you've ever listened to like one of Tom Segura's podcasts and you could hear his producer laughing in the background. That's what it is. So I like the guys we have. They're very Ron Santo-like to me.
Yeah.
So that I don't know if you ever listened to Ron. You might be.
I probably have heard videos of him.
Too young, honestly.
I'm sure I've heard clips.
But because he's not as distinct as like Harry Carey was. You can't, which I just saw a clip today with Harry Carey and Bill Murray. And today marks 35 years to the day that they first turned on the lights at Wrigley Field.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they used to play all day games.
So,
which they still do play a lot of day games. I think it's like a signature thing for the Cubs.
Yeah.
Even though they have like I've heard that there's like the Friday 1:20 game is like a signature for the Cubs.
It is a huge signature game. And that's a lot of what they do when they're home. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if they've done anything to those lights in 35 years. So
yeah.
We're lucky they still work. But we are, by the way, Wild Card starts October 3rd.
October 3rd.
Okay.
And the Cubs are in town the last week of September, right before that. Which makes that series all the better.
Is that a playoff prediction series where they could end up meeting in the playoffs? It might be.
It might. No.
If the Cubs make it, I don't know.
We gotta see what they do for the next month and a half.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't add that much. They added a guy they used to have in their organization.
Yep. Candelaire we used to have.
They did fill some needs. They didn't have really a consistent third baseman starter all year, and then they needed bullpen help. So, I mean,
I think we made good moves. Nothing so crazy that it was going to shake everything up. I don't think that was the goal.
Speaking of the White Sox and the Cubs, don't they play like tomorrow, or is it Thursday? I know they play.
It's got to be soon for the other end. Because didn't we win?
Yes.
Hold on. So you brought up the Orioles, and I've got a really good friend that's a huge Orioles fan. Like he'll fly up just to go to Camden, and he lives in North Carolina. So I definitely texted him. And I said, so y'all fired your broadcaster? He's like, fired? I don't know about that. I know they removed him. I'm like, so I have to give him hell. I'd be like, indefinitely suspended equals fired. He might be, but that might work out for that broadcaster. Somebody might be like, you know what? Come here. And he's like, okay.
Say hi to
let's look this
You're
up.
annoying your mascot.
Hi to Jess.
You're annoying your mascot.
Hey, hi, buddy. I'm not annoying him. You're annoying him by holding his snoot. Let's see. We play you real quick before we find out, or before we do our predictions. Y'all get your shit together so you can get your.
Technical difficulty.
Right. We play on the 15th and the 16th.
So that's next week.
So it's next week. And then, Cubs are in town September 26th, 27th, 28th. Going to the 28th game. That'll be a 7:20 game. And then they have one more series, and then it's playoff time. It's wild card time.
Yeah.
So we will see what happens. But, Duke, kick it off. Who's your World Series prediction at this point?
I'm going to switch it up. I am going to go with Baltimore over Atlanta.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
You think Baltimore could beat Atlanta?
I think so.
I need a little bit of reasoning. I was going to just be like, all right, let's spit it out and we'll go. No, I need a little bit of reasoning behind that.
I just think with that Adley, Gunner, Santander is going to come out at the perfect time. They're going to play their best baseball at the end of the year.
Okay. Alec?
I have the Chicago White Sox.
I was like, he's throwing the Hail Mary. Like,
Ozzy's not here.
If Anderson, they're going to just let him slide.
I'm not going to switch it up just to switch it up. The Rangers and the Braves to me are the best two teams in baseball. So
See,
I think the Braves beat the Rangers.
Yeah. See, I still think it's going to be the Braves against whoever wins the AL, and I think the Braves are going to still win. But I'm going to switch it up from Tampa Bay to the Orioles. I do see the Braves and Orioles duking it out.
Duking it out.
As I was saying it, I was like, "Oh, don't say it! Don't say it!" It came out. I think I'm the one who needs to watch what they're saying now.
Still,
but I don't think the Orioles have what it takes to beat that rock star team. I just don't. I think the Braves are so solid. They are full of veterans who have been there, done that, know what it takes. Like I said, I think if they're going to hit a slump, and this really isn't a slump, it's a slump compared to how they've been playing all year. Yep. Let's be fair. Mm-hmm. It's not your typical 5-6 game losing streak, getting blown out. It is in comparison to how they've been playing.
Or 7 game losing streak since the deadline.
Right.
Yeah, I really tried to veer away from the 7. I tried to think of any number but 7. I was trying to.
Okay. I'm used to it.
I'll be nice to Duke, but
you're
fuck
fine.
the White Sox. I'll be mean to Alec all day. I feel like Duke has gotten like 3 or 4 hours worth of me just picking on him. It's Alec's turn.
Yeah, it's my turn now.
I mean,
go get a haircut.
We did give up a grand slam out of that slump, but we didn't. So you can say it.
The Angels have been going through a rough time.
Y'all have also, with good reason, you've lost some of your, you've lost your key players. I think Ohtani plays it safe when he is slightly not feeling something right, which is smart on his, longevity. Right. The White Sox have just been blowing it up from the jump. They just don't give a fuck. They do not. And it shows. But yeah, I would have to say that's my pick is Braves, Orioles, but Braves are going to take it. Now, the only thing the Braves have to worry about is not doing what they normally do, which is chill.
I can make this.
All right. Well, we'll end on that note.
Yep. We'll end on that.